this point, if you've been watching Ask an Aquarius for any amount of time, you probably know a great deal about me. I do pretty good at explaining me. If I can't do nothing else, I can talk about me. But some people left me some Q&A questions, and I said I was going to answer them like a lifetime ago. I put them in my phone and never got around to them. So today I'm going to answer the questions that some of you have sent to me about me. Okay, so first I'm going to do the introduction, and then I'm going to read the questions and explain. I didn't read all of them, only read the first two, so we all won't be surprised. So I'm going to do the introduction, and then we're going to get into these questions. I am Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it too, and drop us a positive comment in the comment section. Oh, and stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read and respond to 2 positive comments from previous videos. And one of them could be yours, or you might want to hear what I have to say about that particular topic. Likewise, if you would like to get a reading done, please email me. My email, my social media, my Patreon, everything you need to know about me is underneath this video. Okay? All right, so let's get started. Question 1. What is your type? Now, by this question, I'm assuming that she means physical, romantic type. So, I love big women. I love them. I just love them, love them, love them. I love women pretty much that look like me, like physically, like big women, big breasts, pretty face. I like that kind of a woman. What is her name? Jack A is pretty to me. Kim Whitley is pretty to me. I love a big gal, even though they are not as big as, because like for me, a big woman can be anywhere from like a size 14 to like a size 26, anywhere in there. I love a big woman. I love beautiful faces. I love natural hair. I love locks. I got a real thing for locks. But not just that, but I love afros and all kinds of different cuts and things along those lines. So that's my physical type. I like a woman who's very kind. After being with Voldemort and being in situations with people who weren't kind, I refuse to be around anybody who even reeks of abuse, negative energy, pessimism, all that kind of stuff. I head for the hills if I smell any of that. So I need a person who's very kind, very positive, and very much motivated. Their own life has to be working for them. I don't care if she's a CNA or if she is a truck driver or if she's a priestess. Whatever she's doing, her life has to be working for her. Happy, fulfilled, that kind of thing. And that's my type. That's the kind of woman that would immediately get my attention. Just the energy, the personality, and of course the look. The look is the first thing you see. But remember, with an Aquarius, the look isn't enough. I've been with a lot of beautiful women. A lot. A lot. And they weren't always the best. They didn't always have the best personalities, and they didn't always have the most positive vibrations. Some of them were really conceited. Some of them were really conceited. Some of them were really narcissistic. And these are the ones that I didn't actually spend that much time with. And that was why. Because they had the beauty, but they just didn't have the personality. Number 2, 3 things you need to know about dating me. Oh, wow. What do you need to know about dating me? First of all, I ask a lot of questions, and a lot of people find this to be kind of off-putting, but they said they feel like they're being interviewed, and I think pretty much they are, basically. I'm trying to see if we're compatible, you know, so I'm gonna ask a lot of questions like, what's your birthday? What's your birthplace? What's your birth time? So I'm trying to see if we have shared goals. So I ask a lot of questions. So know that if you're dating me, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions. And if you're uncomfortable with that, I'm not the kind of person that you want to date, because I'm definitely going to be like interrogating you, and not like in a negative way, but I am going to ask a lot of questions. And I'm going to ask you, like, what was your childhood like, and you know, what were your relationships like, and what kind of goals do you have for the future, and what do you see yourself in 5 years? And I'm gonna ask questions like that. And if that kind of thing bothers you, I'm not the kind of person that you want to go out with, definitely. And she said 3 things. Okay, so I ask a lot of questions. What is the other 2 things? I am someone who is very free. So if someone is dating me, they really need to have an open mind, you know, because I'm gonna try different things. I'm not gonna do nothing too crazy. I'm older now, so I've tried everything, but still I need somebody that's open-minded, like trying different foods and going to different countries and, you know, stuff like that. Somebody that's open to those kind of things. And number 3 is gifts are my love language. So if you're dating me and you're not a gift giver, a gift receiver, that's going to be a problem. I'm more than likely, that's not going to work. I'm just going to just put it out there. It's not going to work. If I can't give you and we can't exchange gifts, it's not going to work. I'm not going to be feeling it. Likewise, I was saying before about me, you know, gifts are my love language. You know, that's like something that's really important to me. So I want somebody who celebrates holidays. I love Valentine's Day. I celebrate birthdays. I do something around the winter holidays, either solstice or Yule or Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever, something, you know. And if it's a person who hates holidays, me and them aren't really going to mesh. That's going to be very disappointing to me. I ain't going to want to be with them, because that's a big part of the year. You know, you go from one thing to the next. And if they're going to be pouting or unhappy about it, then they shouldn't date me. Number 3, what is the reason why you stopped dating men? I dated men until I was in college. And while I was in college, like towards my junior, senior year, somewhere around there, I had always dated men and women. My first crushes were women, actually. Men came later. So I had always done both, and pretty much probably would have continued to do both. But when I got to college, I realized that masculine energy really wasn't working for me, not romantically. It was working for me in other ways, like having male friends and mentors and godfathers and those kind of energies around, my professors and stuff like that. That worked for me. But having romances with men was not working for me. I think some of it had to do with socialization, because the way that we're socialized as men and women, that dynamic just doesn't work for me. It makes me irritated. It makes me very irritated, because I always feel like there's a power struggle. There's always, I feel underneath the surface, this power struggle. And I don't get that struggle with my male friends or my cousins or my godfathers. But when I'm in a romance with a man, I would always notice that. And I always found myself unhappy. And with women, even if we didn't stay together, I was generally happy the whole time. So I realized it wasn't really working for me. And women who are 100% lesbians really don't want to mess with women who are not. They don't always want to do that. Some of them do, but a lot of women don't like that, you know? So I gave up dealing with the opposite sex, because number 1, the women I was dating wasn't feeling that. It was like, look, you need to pick a team. What team is you on? Because you either on this team or you on that team, or you're on the bi team, and that's not my team. Okay, so these women were letting me know you need to decide what you want. And I just, since the relationships with men weren't fulfilling, they weren't making me happy, I just stopped. I completely just stopped. And then I met Voldemort after that. This was years after that. So I hadn't been with a man for years by the time I met him. And then I got with him. begrudgingly. Took him a year to even get my phone number, you know, because I was just like, I knew what the whole thing was about. I knew what it was hitting for, you know. But I fell for it anyway because I was really lonely at that time. Me and my girlfriend had broke up, and that was a whole nother story. But that's how Voldemort happened, and then I went right back to my women. So basically, at like about 23, I was 20, going on 24 years old is when I figured it out, you know. And it just didn't make me happy. And I'm sure I wasn't going to make them happy either, because what they wanted, I just didn't have. I didn't want to be the men that were attracted to me, which is really strange how they were attracted to me. But the men that were attracted to me wanted a traditional wife, and I just wasn't that, you know. So it just wasn't working. Do you think that Voldemort put a spell on you? You know something? I'm gonna tell you real rap. I don't put nothing past Voldemort. Voldemort is from New Orleans. And everybody knows that New Orleans is voodoo central. New Orleans voodoo. And everybody in New Orleans doesn't practice. I've been to New Orleans. Everybody doesn't practice. There's Catholics there. There's everything else. I'm sure there's Muslims and everything else. I saw Catholics when I was there, and I saw practitioners of voodoo, New Orleans voodoo. And I don't have a problem with that. I know plenty of practitioners. So Voldemort is from a place where this kind of stuff is done, and Voldemort doesn't really have any scruples. So I think he would do just about anything to get what he wanted. So I don't put nothing past him. He might have, but I'll tell you this thing, as a priestess, we do removals and hex breakings and different things on ourselves throughout the year, periodically on different moons. So if he did, it would have been before I started practicing, so that energy would have been on me for quite some time before I started practicing and removing things. So at this point, it wouldn't still be present, but it could have been. I would not put it past him. We even had that conversation. The last time I talked to him, we were talking about that, and he was like, I wouldn't do that. And I was like, you would do anything. I don't put nothing past you. And he laughed about it. He thought it was funny. But honestly, I don't put anything past him. I don't know. And one of my elders swears that's what happened, because she said to me, she was like, first of all, you never loved anybody, never fell in love at all before, and didn't fall in love afterwards. The one person you fall in love with is a cat from New Orleans? My elder swears on that. And I'm like, So it could have been, that could have been the case, you know? But even if it was, it's not there anymore. So it is what it is. When you're dealing with somebody who'll do anything, you never know what they might do. You know, you don't know what they might do to you. That's why you got to be careful who you spend time with, because people can really harm you or control you, because those kind of spells aren't really about love, in my opinion. They're about control. The last one says, what herbs do you take? I don't take any herbs regularly, especially since I left the States. But when I was in the States and we were going through cold and flu season, I always took echinacea and golden seals. I don't even know how to spell echinacea. It's ECHIN something, 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 something. But it's called echinacea and golden seals. I would get it. It's in one capsule. I would get it from Walgreens. Sometimes I would get it from CVS. I got it a few times from Amazon. And basically, it's an immune system stimulator. That's the one I took. But I was told there are a lot of them. I know people have told me all kinds of names of different things they take, but that's what I took. And I took them during cold and flu season to boost up my immune system to keep me from getting sick. Likewise, if I felt a cold coming on, because with me, my symptoms are always the same, and your body will probably warn you in a similar fashion. But what happened is my throat will start to tickle. That's always the first sign. And I'm like, what's wrong with my throat? You know, something's going on with it. And I know I'm about to get something. And then after the throat, I start to sneeze. And I'm like, oh yeah, something's coming. And that's when I go get the echinacea, and the directions are on the bottle, and I will start taking them. Now, the one thing about taking herbs of any kind, whatever you decide to research and take, because you really should research them before you take them. You need to make sure that they're not going to counteract with medications that you're taking, or you're not allergic to them. You got to be really careful before taking something. So the other thing I was going to say is that if you're taking herbs, if you decide to take some, you need to up your water intake. I was told by a physician that you need to make sure that you're hydrated a lot, even more so if you're taking herbs. So a lot of people in the holistic community didn't take them the way I did. I took them in a caplet. Those people would take them in a tea. They would dump the caplets into a tea to make sure they got their water intake. I would just take them and then drink 16 ounces of water, right behind them. So you have to make sure that you're flushing the herbs through your system so that they can work properly. So I guarantee you, if you're really interested in them, you can find different ones that will be helpful to you. I have a book on herbs, as a matter of fact, and what I'll do is I'll look for it and put it underneath this video. So if you want to take a look and maybe research some, you can. Now remember, anything you put into your body is going to seriously affect you, positively or negatively. So you want to do your research first, okay? I've never had a bad reaction to echinacea and golden seals, but I'm also not allergic to it, you see? So you really need to, if I was going to take them and I had allergies, I don't have any allergies except one. So if I was going to take them and I knew that I wasn't certain about that, the first thing I would do is go to my doctor and get an allergy test to see what I'm allergic to. Then you'll know what herbs are acceptable and which ones are not. Better safe than sorry, right? All right, let's get out some of these positive comments. This looks like Lupe Yoli. She is clearly frustrated and in love with an Aquarius. I'm a Pisces, and that is exactly initially what drew me to this channel, but I actually was able to learn a lot and let my dark Aquarius go. That's good for you. It's been educational. The answer is the knowledge you may be, the answer is in the knowledge. You may be painful, you may be abrupt and painful at first, but a short pain right now is way better than continually wasting your time. The woman that gave me that question, those 3 hard-hitting questions, the Pisces, about Aquarius that she's responding to, I did a video about this last week. This woman, the Pisces, gave me 3 hard-hitting questions that I was scared to answer about Aquarius. She wasn't in love with an Aquarius. She got those online. She told me she got them from a chat room. So those weren't her questions or questions that somebody she knew made up. Somebody posted them in a meme in a chat room. And she took them because she wanted to know the answers. And she said that she's dealt with a lot of Aquarius, and one of her parents, I think it was her mom, was Aquarius. And she wanted to understand Aquarius better. So I'm glad you let go of that dark Aquarius though, because dark Aquarius is, man, I've heard terrible stories about them. If you spend time with a dark person, dark meaning low vibrational person, they can make you just like that whole sun sign. You spend time with a dark Aquarius, you ain't going to want to talk to no Aquarius ever again, So I'm glad you got out of that, because that is very abusive. Ayana G. What's up, Ayana G? Ayana says, say it louder for the people in the back, Queen. You tell the truth like it is. That's why I love your readings, being a fellow Aquarius. This is how I like my info. Straight up, no chaser. Yeah, you cannot help somebody if you're not real with them, And some of the times, being an Aquarius, it's not easy to be real with a person and be kind and sugarcoat at the same time. So when I'm doing readings, if I gotta choose between sugarcoating and being honest, I'm going to be as honest as kindly as I possibly can, because I need them to hear the truth. They don't need me to pat their arm, you know, and tell them everything's okay. Maybe after the reading, but during the reading, they really need to know the truth so they can make some changes. Some of the things I've said to people has helped them change their life. So I got to tell them the truth, you know? All right, guys, that was the last one. So I'm going to see you guys next time. Thank you so much for coming. Come back soon. I have a lot more to say. See you later.